Hi everyone, this is Professor James. I wanted to create a video to help walk you through one of the projects that comes later on in Chapter 5. Based on some feedback that I got after class, it sounds like you guys are struggling, or some of you are struggling with the projects in the Excel chapters as they get further and further on. And so I'll always do the first one in class, and then I'm going to do a screencast video of one of the projects that comes later on in each chapter. So I hope that you find this helpful. So the one that I'm going to be doing for Chapter 5 is Project 3. So looking at Project 3A on page 123 of your Excel book, it's going to have you open the file National Budget. So right now, as you can see on the screen, I'm in EL2C5, and I'm going to look for the National Budget file. So I'll go ahead and open that. Okay. And let me just drag this to the full screen for you. Okay, so here's what the file looks like, and the first thing it wants you to do, obviously, as always, is save it with a new name. So you're going to want to go into File and Save As, and then wherever you have your folder for your Chapter 5 projects, you're going to want to save it with the name 5- and then National Budget. So what this wants you to do is add different scenarios to the worksheet. So step 3 tells you to view the range names that are already created in the worksheet by clicking the name box arrow and then clicking the Wage Inc. at the drop down list. So when I do that, I go up here into the upper left corner and I select Wage Inc. And what that does is activate cell C4. So you'll see the $13,016 projected increase that has been activated. And it says a range name has been created for each data cell in column C so that a descriptive label displays when the scenarios are added in step 4 and 5. Okay, so that's just telling you what has already been done. So what it wants you to do now is add a scenario with values assuming a low inflation rate. And so how you do that is you keep this active, C4 active, and you go on the Data tab. And when you click Data, you're going to see it's going to want you to do a what if analysis. So that's over here under the forecast option. So you're going to want to click that. And when you do, you're going to see the Scenario Manager option. So you'll click Scenario Manager. And as you can see, there aren't any current scenarios defined. So you're going to want to click Add. And it wants you to call it low inflation. So just type low inflation, just how it looks in the book, and then press the tab key. So right now it just says cell C4, but it wants you to say C4 through C7. So you're going to unclick there, do a colon, and then do a C7. And I'm also going to make that a lowercase just so that they match. So C4 through C7, and then you click OK. So then it brings up the scenarios value dialog box. And what you're going to do there is you're going to change the values to the values that it gives you. So in the Wage Inc. text box, instead of what's currently listed, you want to type 12010 and then press tab. And then 2150 tab, 5276 tab, and 1998, and then click OK. And then it keeps that as a scenario that you can select. So then what it wants to do is add another scenario, one called high inflation. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to click Add. You're going to name this one high inflation. And it kept C4 through C7, so that's fine. You can leave that. And then it wants you to change the values. So you'll click OK, and then that same dialog box will pop up, and now you're going to add new values. So you're going to change it to 15224 tab 2765 tab 7236 tab and 3195, and then you hit OK. So now you've got two different scenarios in your scenario manager, and it wants you to add a third scenario called original forecast. So I'll go ahead and type that in, add new scenario. So original forecast. And the values that it's asking for are already entered, so you're just going to click OK. So now you've got 3. You're going to click Close, and you're going to save the file. Okay. So for 3B, you're going to continue to keep this file open, and you're going to apply the low inflation rate scenario that we just created. So you're going to go to Data, if you're not already there, and then over to What If Analysis and Scenario Manager. From there, you want to click on the low inflation in the scenarios list box, and then down here you're going to click Show. You can see it updated the numbers there. Change the values in C4 through C7 based upon what we inputted for the scenario. So you should see 6,057,085 as the new budget. And with the scenario manager box still open, you're going to change the worksheet to display the high inflation option. So now you'll click high inflation, and then you can click Show, and again you can watch the $664,071 total cost appear. And then it tells you that after reviewing the data, it has been decided that the projected increase for computer supplies should be $3,500. So you're going to want to edit the high inflation scenario. And how you do that is you make sure high inflation is selected, click Edit. From there, you want to click OK. And here's where you're going to make the adjustment. Where it says Supplies, Inc., instead of $2,765, you're going to change it to $3,500. Everything else can stay the same, so you'll click OK, and then you're going to want to click Show, and you can see that it made that adjustment. You can click Close and then save the file. Now with this file still open, we're moving on to project 3C on page 126. It wants you to display a scenario sum report, and you do that by making sure that the Data tab is open, and you click on the What If Analysis once again, and this time you want to click on Scenario Manager and click Summary. And from Summary, you're going to see that D8 is already selected, so you can click OK. Everything should have defaulted to that. And it's going to show you your scenario summary sheet that has been added to the workbook there for you. So all the numbers should look like they do here on mine. You can click Save, and there is your 5-national budget file that will need to be submitted with Chapter 5. I hope that this was helpful. If you guys have any other questions about any of the projects, please feel free to contact me. Again, I'll get a vote at the start of class after spring break to see if you want me to continue to do these videos. I will if you find it helpful. Have a great spring break, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.